GM Farcaster. It is Wednesday, September 11th, and you are here with Nounish Prof and Adrienne for 29 minutes-ish of Farcaster news to start your day. Today's going to be a little different. We're going to have about 21 minutes of Farcaster news and then a special guest popping in, my friend Carrie Louise, who's a comedian, talk about her new stream that's coming up. So, but first, GM Adrienne, how are you this lovely morning?
GM, I'm feeling based and casted.
I am feeling based and cast as well. And we are powered by Base. So very exciting to have them on board. And let's start with the fun of the evening last night, which was narrowcasting. So if you're not aware, within channels, you can cast just in that channel only to make sure that only those people see your casts. So PSA, don't forget about narrowcasting if you don't want to lose all your followers tonight. Just select channel followers only. And this came in handy in the debate channel. This is some zinger, bullish on narrowcasting. Widecasting is like the equivalent of having a loud conversation in a public space for anyone to listen versus a self-selected group that's interested in the convo. So this, I feel like, is going to be important for the rest of this year. So here we go. So it was a lot of interesting things happening last night. We also had Polymarket Bingo. Polymarket was the real winner of the evening. And this from Packy. I can't get over how lucky we are. In less than 2 hours, we get to watch a conversation with the two best people in all of America, the greatest country on earth. I feel like that might have been a little sarcastic. I don't know. So narrowcasting for the win, and congratulations to Polymarket. It's pretty much. And that is our 30 seconds of politics. Moving on.
Yeah, we promise we don't do politics, but we can talk about Polymarket and funny casts.
Polymarket and memes. That's it. That's all we're talking about during this election cycle. Should you want more news, we have channels for that, like politics and global news, drop global news. So there you go. And in other news, we have this from Base, next round of Base builders. So announcing the 17th wave of 2024 Base Builder grants. And this was Ida Kopovitsky for Uncuts, Rocketman for Verbs, that's awesome. Love you, Rocketman. BasedMC.eth, Rachel W. for hosting an accelerator program. That was with HALP, H-A-L-P. And you can find out about that in the HALP channel, so help. Scooge.eth for their on-chain and off-chain world building and game platform. Gayatri for enabling builders and creators to get support on Warpcast. Metopia and Pratsy for based games. So congratulations to everyone who won one of these grants. And remember that if you build on Base, sometimes you're rewarded, and that's pretty awesome. Also, this from Jesse. This was Why Base from Brian Armstrong. It is pretty long. We're not going to read it, but if you look at Jesse Pollock's account, you'll see this here. And this was pretty cool to see. This was at the Goldman Sachs event yesterday. And this is Brian Armstrong talking about payments and how Base is really making a lot of moves on this in this particular area. So I do think I want to just say a couple quick things here, or what he said. That makes crypto, I think, the best payment rail globally to date. There's some in the traditional financial system. There are some payment rails that are very fast, like credit cards, but they are expensive, 2%. There's some that are very cheap, like ACH, but they are very slow, 2 to 3 business days. There are some that are very fast and cheap, like WeChat payments, but they're only in one country. Crypto rails on layer 2, like Base, are now the only ones I know of that check all 3 of those boxes. So that was a pretty big moment, I think, for crypto to be able to share that with that particular audience, I think is really important. And I think this is something that I know for Brian Armstrong has been really big for him is payment rails as well as Jesse. So it's good to see this kind of coming together and being shared with a larger audience. So
Yeah. There's nothing in this. I mean, there's nothing in these remarks. I think that if you're in crypto and on Farcaster all the time and kind of who's anyone listening to us, like we know
yeah,
that's why
yeah,
we're here because
right.
but to see the messaging is so clear and we're not going to get there unless we get the messaging out. So I thought it was really powerful. I liked his analogy about the text messaging.
Yes, that's a really good point. He had a great point here about text messaging. Let me read that part real quick. That I did think that was a great analogy as well. He said there's about 25 billion text messages a year at its peak. So back in the day,
and that was when we had to pay for text messages.
like for instance, text messages used to cost 25 cents. So that's back in the day. And so to increase that, it's today with WhatsApp, iMessage, and things like that, these are now free. There's hundreds of billions of messages sent every day. So you can get an order of magnitude increase in activity just by taking out a small amount of friction. And that happened in messaging. That's now going to happen in payments. So I thought that was a great analogy.
You had to pay to receive a text message, to send and receive.
Yeah.
And it was,
we sound so freaking old right now.
But it is. So you take the
text messages and long distance calls too.
And you had to type on using numbers.
Numbers, that's right.
There was no keyboard. There was no QWERTY keyboard.
That's right. Oh boy. Do you know that there's some of the Gen Zs who actually have those phones now, like on purpose? Like they so I find that so funny. Moving on to a few more pieces of news. This from Varun, Gabriel Eso, and GT have been cranking out DC improvements on Warpcast. DC is direct to cast. The inbox now loads a lot faster on web and mobile, and fetching conversations is significantly faster. The worst case for a load used to be 10 seconds. It's now less than 2 seconds. The median time is under half a second. So thanks, Gabriel and GT, for those improvements. And if you have other improvements you'd like to see, this would be a good cast to throw them in the replies. This from ENS, this is really cool. We're thrilled to announce that we are now supported on PayPal and Venmo. This new feature brings the power of ENS to millions, making crypto transfers easier and more secure than ever, starting in the USA. And I like that Nick Duddeth was the example. And we do have, that's pretty exciting. I think that ENS is super powerful. And everything that they're doing with Stripe and PayPal right now is going to be really interesting. I think there's a lot. Oh, and Venmo, sorry. I think this is where combine that with what Brian was talking about at Goldman Sachs yesterday, and you can see sort of where this is going. This is how we onboard masses, is first from businesses accepting payments because they're saving money, especially small business, and then making it easier for those to do so, for customers to do so. So this is pretty cool.
This feels like I had a question about this and I didn't do the work to get my question answered. So I'll
throw it out there. Maybe somebody knows. Maybe somebody knows in the chat.
My assumption is this means that anyone with a PayPal or Venmo account connected to their bank account can now connect to an ENS. Like, can someone send fiat from their bank account and have it?
Maybe.
Or is it only crypto to crypto through PayPal, like through your PayPal account? So I don't know the answer.
I'm not sure.
It almost doesn't matter because we're going to get where it was like, but I think that'd be super, super cool if like, oh, my friend on Venmo /PayPal or wherever, I can just have them send to me, give them my ENS. I thought that was really cool. It also reminds me of, I read about this in Morgan Housel's The Psychology of Money, but this is like a common thing in terms of like progress. When something bad happens, everybody hears about it on the day when like, you know, and everyone focuses on it, but progress is not all at once. Like something, you know, and you typically hear about progress like before, like the hype comes before the actual thing.
Yeah.
So by the time the thing actual comes, everyone's like, yeah, cool. Like you don't really pay attention. And then it'll get adopted. And then you look back and it's like, we've always been able to send money to everyone's ENS globally. So I saw this. I looked at it last night. It had been casted about like 8 hours earlier and there were like 70 likes on it.
Yeah.
I was like, no one's paying
bigger.
attention. This feels way bigger.
Yeah. It's
but
way
it just
bigger.
is like, it just reminded me of like, it's big, but we're not paying attention. We assumed we already had it. It just doesn't. So congratulations.
Well, it's just kind of like when you talk about payments in general, most people think about things like Venmo and PayPal and Cash App, and they don't realize that there's all this stuff happening in the background. So they think it's immediate and that you're getting it cleared right away, and you're not, because crypto does that where it is actually immediate, but there is this waiting time. You're just not seeing it, but it's the way that funds can be recalled, right? So it's not cleared yet. So I think there's a lot of confusion there because of the way it appears to work, that it seems like, oh, what do we need crypto for? We have, ACH, we have Venmo, we have Cash App, and it's totally different. So,
and Links answered my question about like what actually got announced. It's actually just the ENS integration. So PayPal, Venmo did support crypto before, but with addresses.
Oh,
so,
okay. Yeah.
So however that worked before, now it has support
now
for
you can
ENS.
just do ENS. Yeah.
But
which is cool. That's great.
How often are you putting in an address these days as opposed to ENS?
I mean, only if I have to, and mostly it's mostly been on Base because ENS didn't work there. So I'd go and look it up, grab the wallet, throw it in. Yeah. So that's usually the only time I'm doing it. We got a few more things before we get to our guest. I did want to mention this from Nat Eliason. I think once more non-crypto people realize Farcaster is kind of like Twitter and Reddit with embedded gambling, it could really take off. For what I see, I don't see there's gambling as a bad thing.
They know there's gambling. Okay, they know it too much.
There's gambling. There's gambling, I swear. This from Horsefacts. Notice Trisel.eth is already using On the Air. If you're a FC broadcaster who wants to use this channel before it's automated, reach out and I'll add you to AutoMod. So that's pretty cool. Wanted
also,
to mention this.
Follow the channel On the Air, please, everybody.
Yes.
There's not enough people following it right now. And if we're going to use it, everyone should follow it.
And if you, this is so you can drop when you are on air, and hopefully we start to get some better notifications around that. This is from someone needs a job. He has a job now and he works for POAP. We've minted a special POAP for authors of bangers on Farcaster and making it to the top 100 casters a day during week 1 of Warpcast rewards. If you receive $5 from Warpcast during September 1st to 7th, mint your POAP and hold this memory forever. So I did make it in that very first one. So I did get one of these. Did you go claim yours yet?
I claimed.
You did. Okay,
yes.
good.
Yes.
Okay. Couple more quick
my
things.
POAP. So anytime I ever get sad and feel worthless, I'm going to just pull up my POAP and look at it.
There you go. Perfect. And then this from Alex Kuhn, when you get a boost and $5 USDC reward on the same day. That is hilarious. Couple more quick things. This from Alina. A couple thoughts on how to improve boost. 1 from 1 to 4. Users getting a boost should be warned in advance. Otherwise, they're risking missing out on the benefits or giving up other activities. In other words, boost hijack your plans. I remember this a little bit too with Pearl. Like Ted noted, on many such cases, 24-hour boosts urge users to overcast, which we've already seen with cast number bets on Pearl. I really didn't have physical time to generate good content to compensate. I wanted to showcase underrated accounts. I did think that was a really good use of this. And then with 1 and 2 in mind, boosts would be the most effective if we could boost particular casts instead of ourselves, our accounts. The number of casts could be limited. Let's say 10 or 5 users would be able to showcase meaningful casts. And then bonus points if boosts weren't limited in time, promotions of nonprofit causes, events when it's best time for that. That's a really actually great idea. Even more bonus points for an, I think that was app to boost other users' casts without recasting, quote casting, etc. So I do think these were great feedback. Honestly, I would love a way to boost other people's casts. I'd even pay for that. So there you go, revenue generating, right there.
Take her money.
Take my money, please. And speaking of $5 rewards, I liked this. Another back in my day. Back in my day, rewards were real different. Back in my day, rewards were 50 warps. You kids are happy with 5 tiny dollars. We worked hard. We partied hard. 50 warps were worth 50 cents. And there you go. But and to wrap this up, are you winning, son? I found friends online who seem to enjoy the memes I post. It's a very wholesome community. So there you go. All right.
We love you.
We love you. All right. So I'm going to bring up, oops, let me stop sharing that.
Do you know Supercast? Prof, do you know Supercast lets you boost casts?
It does, yes. But the way they do that is they're sending it to your direct cast. They're sending it to your DMs. To say, and then you get a DM that says, hey, can you boost this? And then you go and recast. So it's not really like built in. You're taking some action, but yes.
Because Supercast also, I think, has reverse chronological feed, not algorithmic. Yeah. So boosts in the feed aren't really a thing.
Right. Then. Exactly. Okay. So we're going to switch gears here and chat with my very friendly friend, Carrie. But first, via introduction, I'm going to show you what she's been working on, and then we're going to chat with Carrie Louise.
Hello, everybody. It's Carrie Louise and Tom Powder here in Paris. And we have a special announcement just for you.
Yes, everybody has been telling us that we should have a show together. Like my mother, she always says, why can't you be like Regis and Kelly? So finally we decided we're going to do a live streaming show together. It's going to be great.
And you know what? The reason your mother wants
Adrienne
to be like Regis is because he's dead, everybody. That's why. And look, this is every husband's dream, right? To go to work with their wife.
It's going to be fun.
But we're going to try and see how it goes. So don't expect too much. Lower your expectations. You won't be disappointed. And we're going to go live once a week, every Thursday at noon.
Yes, that means every Thursday at noon, you have to pretend to like me, honey. Yeah. Really? Okay. Yes. Fun fact.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This is the city of love. But she calls it the city of shove because she tried to shove me off that very tower an hour ago.
That's because he didn't look at a map. It took us forever to get here. I'm sweating to death. We started this journey yesterday.
Well, finally, here we are. And there are the rings. See those Olympic rings? And this is the wedding ring. See that, everybody? And that's the suffering right there. Look, we're going to do the show. It's going to be entertaining, I promise, starting September 19th.
It could suck.
It won't suck. It's going to be fun. We're going to talk about places we've traveled, you know, bringing up children.
Our bratty kids.
Yeah, our relationship, maybe a little politics.
No politics. We're not talking about politics.
And we might have a guest or two, right?
We might. And we might talk about, like, pop culture, like things like breakdancing.
Look, like so much of our marriage, we can't decide on a name for this project, okay? So we've narrowed it down to 2 names. The first one is A Couple of Laughs with Tom and Carrie.
Or Married with Giggles.
Yeah, and we're hoping that you can help us name the show. So let us know what you think, which one you like best, and if you don't like either one of them, tell us that too. We love honesty.
We don't care. Yeah, honesty is the best policy. We're going to have a great time, and we want you to come. And look, if you can't see it live, we're going to have fun clips.
Yeah, and you can check it all the time.
See you September 19th.
Yeah, Siri, schedule my next colonoscopy September 19th at noon, sharp. Come on.
And with that, welcome, Carrie Louise Cotter. It's so nice to have you here. And
hi. Thanks for having me.
GM. So this is a little different. We're going to chat about what you're working on, and then we're going to try and convince you to join Farcaster. Just kidding. That was my goal here. So this is Carrie, who is my oldest friend. And she is older. I like to say that, but we've been friends since we were 6 years old. and I was talking to her about our stream over the summer and convinced her to start her own with her husband, Tom, who is also a comedian.
And you know we're blaming you when this fails.
Yeah. Yep.
When this sucks,
it's so much blame. And I'm going to hear about it forever. Like she's still blaming me for things I did when I was a teenager.
Absolutely.
Still, to this day. I got her grounded and she's still talking about it. And yeah, it was my fault. All right. I admitted it. On public, it'll be on the blockchain forever.
You still have not let that go the day you got me. She had a party and I got punished.
So there you go. So you're starting this stream next week, and it's actually not going to be on Thursdays. It's going to be on Wednesdays.
Right.
You did a little adjustment. Yeah, a little adjustment. So
and at 8:00 at night, because we figured more of our audience will be, settling down and watching. And then that
usually you want stand-up comedy at night and not at noon.
Yeah.
Is what you're saying.
Right, exactly. And then we can talk about sex, because talking about sex at noon is just icky.
With your husband, though, really?
I know. We already did that.
Yeah, that's
we
over.
were married for a long time.
I have a flamingo cup just for you. So
oh my goodness!
My cup this morning. Yeah, you need to get these. They're cute.
Yeah, they are so cute.
All right. So Carrie, do you have questions about your stream that we can answer live for you? By the way, you said it's probably going to suck, and we're going to give you a little piece of advice on that. Adrienne?
Yes.
Hi, Carrie. Nice to meet you, by the way.
And
Kelly
loves working with you. I'm
sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry to be able to tell you this as soon as I meet you, but it's gonna suck. Is that what I'm supposed to say? The first one is gonna suck.
It's gonna suck.
Yeah.
It's gonna, and you know what? Do it anyway. Do it anyway. So we're coming up on our 1 year, and that was our when we launched. Thank you. And when we launched, we just said we're doing the shitty version every day, and it'll just get better each time. Each time we do it, gets a little better, a little better, a little better. We
Plus,
made a lot of improvements.
My son to be the producer, so
yeah, this is going to be interesting. So she's got a producer. It's
so do we.
Sons.
Okay,
yeah.
So do we.
That's me.
So Carrie, what are you using? What tech stack are you using to stream on? What platform?
Oh my God! Already, I don't know the answer to that. What?
StreamYard.
What's a tech stack? What? You're using
what platform are you like?
Big word names.
StreamYard.
StreamYard.
So you invite a producer.
My video, how you put my video on there, and you guys could still see the video. I've been trying to work that out with my producer yesterday. That's one of the questions that I have.
I'll show you how to do that.
Did you use Present? Did you use Present?
Kind of. I'll show you. Yes, but then I did Present video. Yeah, and it worked really well. Yeah. So I have another question for you. So you've been a stand-up comedian since your early 20s.
Yes.
I was at her first show
because
she was in the Miss New Hampshire pageant, and that was her talent.
Yes.
Because we all said, "What are you going to do for a talent?"
Wait, that was maybe my second show. Wasn't that my second show? Maybe because you weren't
something like that.
The Plymouth one. Were you at the Plymouth one?
Oh no, I guess it was your second. Yeah.
Well, so that's how I got into comedy. They needed contestants. My sorority needed contestants. I'm like, all right, I'll do it. And I didn't have a talent, but I loved comedy. I binged watched comedy before binge watching was binge watching. On VH1, TV. I'm aging myself. And big time. I would fall asleep to that. I loved comedy. So I'm like, I can do this. So I wrote up like 2 minutes and 30 seconds worth of it, and I won. All right.
And
well,
there you go.
Awesome. There was only 4.
And then you were in the Miss New Hampshire pageant too. And then you lost.
And then I was in the big pageant, right.
But you were funny. So with streaming, it's the same thing though as stand-up comedy. You just have to keep doing it. You just have to keep doing it because that's how you improve. And you know that from doing years and years of comedy.
Right. Yeah.
So, but you haven't really done much work with your husband, who's also a very well-known comedian, Tom Cotter. So this is the first time you guys are doing something like, besides a couple things here and there or individual, routines and things like that. There hasn't been too much of that.
Right.
So what kind of is driving this? What do you think is this? How is this going to be different than what you've done before?
That's a good question. And this is the reason why I want to work with my husband, because my psychic told me to work with my husband. I went, what? So, I mean, I'll try it. No, well, that's one of the reasons. But the other reason is we did work together, and it was an old videotape. We put it up on YouTube. It has like 20 million followers. I mean, views and comments. And I'm like getting paid from that one video. I'm like, oh my God, maybe my psychic's right. Maybe I should my husband.
Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, it's gonna be really funny, I think, to watch that. But I'm really excited to see how that all goes. So I want to talk to you about your traditional social media platforms. So you're mostly on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and you've got hundreds of thousands of followers on those platforms. So you probably total
if
about
you combine them all and add it up, including my husband, we're pretty famous. Maybe you we'll throw in you in the mix.
Thanks. I don't think so. I don't think we're gonna get there. But you never know. I guess you never know. So within our tiny little social network, probably the biggest accounts have about 300,000, and that's about where we max out. So what would it take to get you to try a new social media platform? And the reason I'm asking this is it's something we talk about all the time, is how do we get folks with really good original content to move over to our platform? So that's my question to you. Like when you think about, if I say, hey, try this new social media platform, what's your first reaction? And be honest.
Oh, I would be like, well, who's on it? So high school, like who's going?
Yeah, who's going? That is a great.
I mean, the most popular kids going, then maybe.
So is there any like benefit to you, do you think, of being the first popular kid on the block to go from like the stand-up comedy world? Does that interest you at all?
Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes I like to do something that no one else is doing, and yeah, absolutely. But usually that fails, so no one does it. The kids saying that's fire, or you got, I tried to coin the phrase, you got caked, and it didn't.
What does that mean?
How do those sayings go viral? I actually had this conversation with Tom. I'm like, how do you, like years ago, how did they coin the phrase? Coin the phrase. Who coined that phrase?
You got to be first. You got to be first to say it, and then you got to get it to take off.
Yeah, you got to get it to take off. How do you do that?
That actually happens. You know what's interesting? When you're on a new social network, those things happen, where you have memes and that are specific to the social platform, and I don't know how they kind of take off and they become part of the culture, which is really interesting. But you have to have those folks who are willing to like jump onto something new and be a little bit of explorers. And I've been curious to see like somebody who has such a large social media following and other platforms, like what does it take to move them to something new? So that's why I was curious to see that.
Yeah, I think if everybody else is doing it in my little circle of friends, then maybe I'll do it. But also, Kelly, it's kind of starting more like a cult that you're saying. I'm a little nervous. Come on my show.
Not the first time we've heard that.
What is it going to take for you? How can I put you in your car today? What is it going to take for you to join this network? Kelly, I'm a little nervous. I thought we were friends.
I mean, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not in a cult. No, not at all. Probably not. Yeah, it's really funny because it does feel like that sometimes. I remember Keckers talking about that when she was after FarCon. So we had a conference back in May, and somebody who's pretty well known on the platform said that it felt a little culty. There was a little moment where, like, yeah, I could see that. Yeah, maybe just a little bit. I know, right? I think that she should start Far Comedy. So we have channels where you can be very like focused on a particular thing. So I was thinking that too, as well. And Yes to Crypto said, I'll sponsor the warps, meaning he'll cover the cost of getting you on there.
Oh, okay.
So,
All right.
so I was actually thinking, so this is the other thing we've been talking about. We were talking about this with bringing other brands on and larger content creators onto the platform. One of the things is, I know that for you, you have somebody who handles some of your social media to make sure it's like, because it takes a lot of time. That's something that's a little more challenging on Farcaster. But I was thinking that your producer, who is your son, maybe it may make sense for him to do something like that instead and sort of manage that aspect of it. But we do think you should.
Into the cult. Okay, now
yeah, exactly. I think he's easier. He's more pliable. Yeah.
That's what they do. They get the family in. Work with the young ones. That's how
That's
you
right.
get it.
Exactly, the impressionable ones. The one who I think will enjoy crypto a little bit more is what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
So,
and they have more time to learn more about it.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So I mean, we just asked her what her tech stack was, and she didn't know that part. So I mean,
right.
like, yeah.
But she did tell us that she's getting paid. There's like the one video on YouTube that went viral, and you're getting paid off of it. But and Carrie, you seem to light up when you were getting paid. When you talked about getting paid, that seems to be something you enjoy.
Who doesn't? And already I have a sugar daddy who's going to pay for me something. Who was that? Was that my new sugar daddy? What's his name?
New sugar daddy. Yes to crypto, but we're not calling him yes to comedy.
Is that my sugar daddy or sugar wife?
Sugar daddy, yeah.
Yeah.
Sugar daddy? Okay.
Crypto.
Just your warp daddy. Your warp daddy.
Crypto, yes to okay. Like to get paid.
Okay, so Adrienne, continue on with what you were going to say, though, because I know where you're going with this. So you do get, so a lot of creators don't get paid on these other platforms. So that's the thing. So, but you do because you have a larger following, which is great. But go ahead. Tell her about the rest.
Well, I can't do this.
So within the platform, there are micro payments. That's what we're gonna say. So like that's what they're talking about is different crypto payments that people can essentially tip you for content that they think is good. So that's that's why I said probably be better if we had the producer on.
And they're tipping you in what colors?
Yeah. In coins. Crypto coins. Yeah. Yeah, one's called degen, one's called Moxie, and there's also others.
And there's stable coins, there's USDC, I think if you're interested, separate conversation, but because Farcaster is built on crypto rails, it makes monetization for creators much easier, much fairer. Like it's not just for the biggest, most popular ones. It connects audience directly to creators. So Prof and I, like we have an audience and we don't have 20 million people watching our show, but but we have direct connection. Like we know who they are and they're supporting us directly. Nice. And we would never have been able to do this on another platform.
And we love you all for that.
That's great. And I like how you said it's not like, it's not a numbers game, because sometimes those numbers could be paid for and we don't know who those numbers are. And this seems more like a close network. Like you really can get to know some of your sugar daddies.
Yes to sugar daddy.
But Carrie, mostly I would tell you to come. Not like there is potential for financialization. There is potential for this to become the next really big thing where all the popular people are. But I do think
we hope
there's most of the community early on were kind of crypto curious people building in the Ethereum area, which is a crypto blockchain. But now that the network is much bigger, we're starting to see people come over from other adjacent people who have no really kind of crypto background, but they're coming and they're being they own their area, whatever that area of expertise is, because they're the kind of big fish in the small pond. and as opposed to the newer fish in a bigger pond. So I don't know anyone doing stand-up comedy, posting short, funny videos. And it's
wide open.
It just seems like now is a really good time for people who have kind of any sort of niche interest, expertise, point of view to come and like build community on a new platform. And then as the platform grows, because you're early, you can take advantage of being here early and you kind of ride the growth in the future. So
there's the sales pitch. This has happened with Naomi, who goes by Afro Chicks, who's a like world-class track and field competitor, and she started posting like fitness workouts. And this doesn't seem like a big deal on other platforms. You see hundreds of them. She's the only one doing it. She's the only one doing it. So she's getting a lot of new followers and a lot of like rewards for doing so. So it's been really interesting to watch that trajectory of somebody who's not doing anything crypto related, but doing something that on other platforms you wouldn't even notice as much.
What is in it for
so many competitors.
Do you guys get points? Do you guys get points? Is this like now I'm thinking, oh my God, this is a triangle. What do you call it? Not a triangle. A pyramid scheme.
A pyramid. No.
This is Amway. This is Mary Kay.
No, we don't get anything by bringing you on to the platform.
Listen, let me just give you some advice. If you ever see a woman in a pink Cadillac, she has no friends. No more friends. She has exhausted all her friends with her little pyramid scheme.
It's not an MLN. No, it's not an MLN.
Not scheme, but
we're just. It does sound like that. It does sound like that at the moment.
Right. So you get something out of it. You get points, right? All my points go to your points.
No, nothing like that. No, nope. It's just a regular old social network.
Maybe some popularity points.
Yeah, we might get popularity points.
If we bring you on and you do well, then like our popularity rises.
Right. Popularity points. Well,
yeah, exactly, Miriam. I want to talk to you.
Oh my God, here we go. Now we got some other music girl talking to me about. Oh my God, I feel like I was just going to come on and promote my show. Now all of a sudden, I feel like I know.
I know. Just we're totally catfishing him.
I
want to go back to your stream because I'm really excited for this. And I wanted you, they're just kidding. They're very sarcastic, funny people. So you're doing well. More good people. Thank you, Sigwiner. This is funny. So by the way, and this is part of what we're doing is like to bring her on was to show her how StreamYard works. And so you can see how I'm pulling in the different comments. So you can see them.
I love it.
Yeah. Anyway, so I want to go back.
How does this work? Can I do that? Can I do this? Can I copy comments from Unlonely chat, put them into our StreamYard chat, and then pull them on air? I just figured out a hack.
Yeah.
All right.
We can do that. That works. Yeah. See, we need way more content creators for sure. So I want to step back though to your video that we showed at the very beginning, which was your promo video in front of the Eiffel Tower. You were in Paris, checking out the breakdancing. I heard it was really good. No? Okay.
I jokingly said when
she's actually Raygun. She's Raygun, everybody. Here she is. That would be funny. Here she is, the Raygun. So tell me about what happened after you did that video.
All right, so we got to circle back to like we're going to Paris. We're going to go to the Olympics. We were trying to get tickets. They're like lots of money for these tickets, lots of money. And so I'm like, all right, well, why don't we just go see breakdancing? You know, no one's going to buy that ticket. And that would, kind of be fun. We never got a chance to buy breakdancing tickets. But lo and behold, who would have known that that's like the biggest ticket ever? Like that went total viral. I loved watching those videos. I was watching the people watching her mostly.
Yeah, that's way better. Yeah, it was way better to watch.
Their heads were turning. It was so funny. All right, so all right. We went to the Eiffel Tower. We were at Paris. It was this very exciting during the Olympics. And I'm like, this is the time to do our video and promote our show and tell everybody about our show. So like, okay. And then we'll climb the Eiffel Tower and then we're going to go on the boat. And we did so many takes. we didn't have time to climb the Eiffel Tower. We never did that, but we did so many takes, and finally we're like, we did it. The take. I go, that's the perfect take. We did it. I go, there's one problem, honey. I just went off memory that I think it's Thursday, September 19th, but I don't know for sure. Let's look in our calendar to make sure that it's Thursday the 19th. And otherwise, we're going to have to do it again. He's like, all right, let's look. So he looks on his calendar and he's like, yep, Thursday is the 19th. And he's like, oh my God, I have a colonoscopy appointment. I'm like, that's so bizarre that you have a colonoscopy appointment. We were joking that you had a colonoscopy. He goes, yeah, it's at 12. I'm like, how could that be? You just had your colonoscopy. Wait, what? And then we realized, after thinking about it, oh my God, Siri actually made him an appointment for a colonoscopy Thursday, September 19th at 12 noon.
While you were doing the take. So be very careful what you say to Siri or Alexa, even joking around. It may not work out well. You may end up with a colonoscopy appointment that you didn't want to make. And nobody wants that. Nobody wants that at all.
And since then, we did change our show to Wednesday at 8:00, so we can talk about sex.
Okay. Which, again, you're a married couple, so I don't know how that's going to come up at all, but okay.
How we're not going to, well, how we're not.
You're not having any? Okay, great.
8:00. 8 p.m.
Perfect. So 8 p.m. next Wednesday is when you're starting. Amazing. Adrienne, any other questions? I would go through our regular lightning round questions with Carrie, but I don't know how that's going to work out, but we could.
Because I don't know anything.
It would be funny.
Yeah.
I have a feeling I know all the answers. It'll be really funny. I wish I could do Polymarket.
We could play.
And bet on the answers.
Yeah, we could do a what's that show? That Newlywed Game show?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
for friends.
For friends. I'd be curious about Carrie. Have you? And normally we ask this question: Who was your first online friend? Only, but my question to you is: have you ever made a friend you strictly met online, who you hadn't met in person first? And my guess is no.
No,
but
I mean, I have like fans that I talk to a lot. I'm like, this is my fan, and he's supposed to come to the show. He has never come. That type of fan that I, but no, not like,
not like somebody then you met in person or got to know. Okay, I was curious. I didn't think so.
Yeah, not just fans, but not friends. Like fans have like contacted me, and then finally come on the show, and I'm like, oh hi, and
So
you've been promising. I'm so glad you came to a show finally.
Oh, that's cool.
But not like
Adrienne.
What? Yes. All right.
I've got some of our other questions to her.
All right. The only rule of Carrie is you can't think before you answer. What is your favorite holiday?
You're going to be great at this. Sorry.
Morning person or night owl?
Oh, night owl.
Yeah.
A country you want to visit?
Spain. Is that a country?
Yes.
It came up recently. Who wants to go to Spain? Was that Robin?
Robin. Yeah.
Yeah.
Robin.
Because he went to all the tier 1 countries.
Yeah.
Okay, that was a joke. That you go back. Concert or sporting event?
Sporting event.
Really?
If you were,
hold on, pause. My favorite concert ever. I was with her.
Bruce?
My 30th birthday, Bruce Springsteen, Madison Square Garden. It was amazing. Continue.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
My mom went to high school with Bruce Springsteen. Fun fact. If you were to write a book, what would it be about?
She did. Why don't you just tell her the book she wrote?
Oh, flex, girl.
She wrote 2 books. I love how you had them right there. That's awesome.
I'm here to promote myself, not get into any pyramid scheme. Okay.
Yeah.
I love it.
What else do you have on your desk that you can? What else is like right within hand's reach right now that you can show us?
And my phone.
So funny.
Okay.
Actually, there's a thank you in the kids' book to me, which was nice.
Fun fact: when Prof convinced me to do this stupid show we're doing, she's like, "All you need to do is she's like, you're drinking coffee in the morning, just like show up, bring a cup of coffee. You don't have to do anything." And we're coming on our 1 year, and I've been putting together a highlight reel. Do you know half the video is literally just like me drinking coffee? And I'm like, everyone, it's just, yeah. I'm like, get me through this.
Just show up and drink coffee.
Kelly edited the book.
Yeah, I did help edit the book. It was fun.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. The artistry is really amazing. There was a great artist who helped with it.
Yeah. So actually, I am writing another book. I think we're writing another book. Parody.
Oh, really? Oh, cool.
You know, the parody of the wine.
Oh, right. Yes.
Mouse cookie. If you give mommy a glass of wine, because I did a mommy minute on it. I did a little video on it, and so now I'm like, oh my god, I could create that. I could create a book on that video. So yeah.
Super fun.
That's in the making.
Any other?
So good. I would just like to say you'd be so good on Farcaster if you're if you are a creative person that is witty, funny, has a point of view, is writing books. Like nobody but Farcaster appreciates people who make things in the world like more than Farcaster. So you should really come to join our cult.
We might have to get her to a New York cult meeting. I mean, meetup.
Yeah. What's the initial payment and then the monthly subscription? And then I can't talk to my family. No one.
You won't want to.
Bonus.
We let you. Book. Yeah, you're allowed to. You just won't want to. It's just,
that's what they all say.
It's just, of course. So, where can we see your work?
So
can we come see you live?
Comedy on all other platforms except Farcaster, which I have no idea what that is. But pretty soon, if I'm going to be on Farcaster, it's going to be at Carrie Louise Comedy. That's my name across most platforms except Twitter. And you can buy my books on Amazon. Beep, beep. And CarrieLouise.com has everything. But spell my name with an I. It's on the screen. Because if you spell it with a Y, you're going to get the porn star. No one wants
really?
I did not know that. Everybody is now typing a Y, just so you know.
Everyone's now. Yeah. That girl owes me a lot of money because I've been driving everybody to her page instead of my page by telling everybody not to do an I, not to do a Y.
Exactly. So
and I'm telling you, and she's not going around telling people not to do an I.
No. Oh yeah, she doesn't even know me. But she's
much
a lot
famous.
prettier. She has big tattoos all over her, and she's. But I think I'm funnier than her.
I hope so. It's not really a skill set usually in that industry. So let's hope.
Let's hope. Yeah, I mean, you don't want to be a funny stripper.
No, you definitely do not. Well, thank you so much, Carrie, for popping by. We really appreciate it.
Congratulations on your 1 year. That's exciting.
That's what we need to actually.
Friday, be doing the 24 hours?
Doing the 24-hour stream on Friday. She's like, "Can I do Friday instead?" And I'm like, "It's a little trickier."
How are you going to fill out the 24 hours? It's just going to be you going like this?
Well, actually, no. Exactly. It's just us drinking coffee the whole time. We're actually I was just going to talk about that. So thank you for that setup. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it. You're great like that. So we're going to start with our regular show. So episode 155 will be on Friday morning, followed by us watching episode 1 and reacting to it, which should be hilarious. So it's going to be really torturous. I haven't watched it. I checked it out to make sure it was ready to go. And I did notice something, and I don't have my cup, but the shirt I'm wearing matches the cups that we did for episode 100, which is pretty funny. Then we're going to do some trivia. So if you are one of our regular chatters and you want to play some trivia and win some prizes, you're welcome to join us on stage. So we're going to be reaching out to our usual chat, and we'd love for you to come up, and you can stay anon. Yes to crypto if you would like to join us. And then we're going to roll in to do a couple more things. We're going to have a bunch of different content throughout the day. We are going to have Dan Romero, DWR, founder of Farcaster, on at 11:30 a.m. Eastern, 8:30 a.m. Pacific. And then we're going to roll into that'll be following a replay of episode 38 with him. Then we're going to be doing the state of Farcaster. That's going to be a new research report by Snickerdoodle that we're going to have a preview of, and that's going to be really interesting. Into the afternoon, we're going to have a little noun section because everyone keeps asking me about nouns. So we're going to answer some questions there and do a little noun o'clock. After that, I know I'm forgetting a bunch of things in here. We're going to have
we are doing a base builder hour.
Base builders hour. We're going to talk with some builders on base. It's going to be amazing. Following Jesse's replay of Jesse's interview with us, we're going to do a purple hour talking about all things from Purple DAO. And we're going to be playing some poker in the evening with some folks who have been kind of leading our poker on Farcaster, as well as some invited players. And we're going to chat with them. And into the late night hours, we got a team from Tokyo DAO and hopefully Farcon Asia. We have to invite them as well to do some late night, which will be early day for them. And we're going to do a lot of replays of past episodes. So that is our plan. And one more thing for today, we also have Vibe Check with DeWoofy today with Coach Cole. And we're going to have a new Vibe Check on Friday where we're the ones being interviewed. So that should be interesting. I'm looking forward to that. And that is our Friday coming up. And that is it for our show today. Anything else, Adrienne, that I forgot before we wrap?
I think we covered it all.
Okay.
And awesome. Carrie, the fans love you. There's so many comments, and we have another streaming section that's not in your view that you can see, and people really want you to join our cult. So you have an instant. Maybe in our social network.
Our social network. It's not a cult. I swear it's not.
Have your producer call us. We'll help them. We'll help them get on.
I think that's the way to go. I think we need the producer.
Yeah,
I think we're gonna need the producer.
I'm gonna put my son onto YouTube. Okay.
Yeah. There we go. There we go. All right. And with that, everybody, we're going to call it there. Thank you all. Have a lovely rest of your Wednesday. Thank you, Carrie Louise.
Thank you.
Go check out Carrie Louise Comedy next Wednesday on all the various platforms, YouTube, Instagram. I think you're going to be on Twitter as well. Go check out her books on Amazon. And with that, we'll see you. Bye-bye.